What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to Tyranny, where we are Judge Dredd. I am the law. I actually I'll be honest with you, silently judging other people's problems. I feel like this is a line of work that I could really get into. I considered it for a while, but becoming a judge is more difficult than I thought. I was like, damn, man, you gotta put in work to be a judge. Isn't there like an online course I can do in like 24 hours? Can't be that difficult, right? Oh, we do get attribute points every single time we level up. Well, that's good. Our accuracy is pretty terrible, but I'm going to focus on hitting really hard, maybe. Oh, and it makes our stats go up when we do that, too. Interesting. So what affects one-handed weapons? It looks like that affected it. We get some dodge, and we get some subterfuge by doing that right there. It looks like we get athletics. And parry from that one. From vitality, we gain 6 HP. And that doesn't really seem to affect too many stats, so dump stat. And then I assume that that makes us better at casting, but we don't even have that, so I'm not going to play around with that noise. Let's go with anything that makes me better with my weapons is all that I care about. Like, as long as I hit harder by the end of this, what does this do? Accuracy. So it makes us more accurate, too, so I'll take it. So each time you level, you can increase your stats. Increasing an attribute costs a point until the attribute score gets to 19, and then 19 to 20 takes 2. Okay. Good things to know. Yes, save my changes, please. Save my changes. So why are things... Oh, there's little talent trees. 6 categories: leadership, defense, power, ranged, and magic. With each level, you can gain 1 point to purchase a talent. Within each tree, each tier of talents unlocks based on how many talent points have been spent. Simple enough. Each companion has their own talent trees and unique abilities. Okay. As you spend points, more talents become available. Well, leadership sounds like a good thing to have, but I gotta be level 3 for that shit. So maybe we'll focus on power or something for right now. I do like power. Arcane Charge adds the spell Breached Affliction to thrust attacks. Also grants a bonus to magic spells for a short time after using a thrust attack. Oh, that's pretty cool. We can also add a feint to our thrust ability. It blinds them as we strike. Do Lightfoot, which makes us move faster in combat. Flurry of Blows, though. Who doesn't want to do a double attack? What did I have for power, though, while we're on the subject? So power. We've already got Sunder. There's Blitz. An aggressive stance that focuses on rapid strikes to overwhelm. Okay, Palm Strike. Interrupts them, pushes them back, and silences them from spell casting. Focus Strike. Armor penetration to thrust. Makes it more accurate. And then we've got Cleave. It seems like we got a lot of opportunities to buff thrust. Like if we put Feint on it, and then we also put Staggering Force on it, that's like a lot of things that are now stacked onto one attack. Like, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket or whatever, but we've also got Blade Wall. Allows an additional enemy to be engaged at a time and grants a bonus to damage dealt to targets that are stunned or prone. That would play into my Shield Bash too. Man, there's all kinds of things I want already, making this difficult. Alright, we'll blind our opponents first. And she hasn't leveled yet, yes? Oh, she does have a point. Look at you, being all talented and shit. I'll probably build her to be an archer, I guess. So Eternal Flame. Launch an arrow drenched in oil and covered in flames. It sets them on fire for much longer than burning iron. Piercing Arrows. So attacks me with a bow, get armor penetration. And then while wearing only light armor, she gets dodge. Or she can pin them to the ground with an arrow so they move more slowly. Setting people on fire seems like something that I could really get behind, so I think we should do that. Oh, never mind. It's saying she has 1 point in each tree. I thought it was saying... I didn't see that there was 2 1s right there. I thought it meant she had an extra skill point.
Sorry.
So we got crates around here. I don't even know what I'm looting half the time. Somebody needs to subterfuginate that open, like, right now.
Reflexes.
So there it is. Blood Moss was added to your stash. Apparently, I'm just allowed to go through things. The Bitter Quip. Is that your real name? Glory to the voices. You got a name like an actor's daughter. Glory to the voices of Narat. Projecting a salutation for all to hear, the grinning blood chanter wraps his staff on the ground as you approach. Fatebinder Leomond, I presume. His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. He looks at you impatiently. Okay, well, if you don't have, like, any quests or anything, I don't want to talk to you. Archons await us inside. Oh, we got a bag over here. If it's not locked, I get to take from it. That's how this works. Even the police say it's not burglary if you go up inside a place and it's unlocked. I mean, hey, that's just trespassing. Damn, look at that big bastard. He's awesome.
There's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
Apparently, you hear voices in your head. Hello, Fatebinder, we'll be with you in a moment.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
I remain silent. These are my overlords, after all.
I always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers, or perhaps you simply choose not to.
My lords, the Fatebinder has arrived. The disfavored commander raises her voice, trying with little success to speak over the Archons. Perhaps we could table this discussion and let our guest speak?
Speaking of strategic failures, who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
I hear voices in my head again. Could you hear us, Fatebinder? Cough. If we have your attention. I cough.
And I thought you had left agents within these Tearsmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let it happen. Incompetent or in cahoots, either way, this mess has your filthy stink all over it.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tears, we shall have this place renamed to Ash's Folly in your honor.
God, vicious. You hear voices in your head. Good, good. Now pay attention. You might miss something.
If I could trust the information I get from you and your conscripted mouth breathers, perhaps I'd order my cohorts around a bit more aggressively. But last time I trusted your all-clear report, my troops failed to come home.
Oh, Ash, old boy. If you're going to have a little sob every time one of your nieces or nephews dies to the Tearsmen, perhaps we should have Sirens sing you some calming lullabies to help you cope with your grief.
In your head, take care that you don't learn too much, Fatebinder. In excess of knowledge, curiosity even, can earn unwanted attention. Oh, there's no... Oh, sorry. Hold your tongue. I will not have you denigrate the honor of our fallen brethren. The commander's hand moves to the hilt of her blade, though the weapon stays sheathed. I'd be doing us all a favor if I cracked open that excuse for a head. They bicker like children, do they not? The fifth eye's grating tenor pierces the tension in the tent, and all eyes land on the crimson spear. I, meant only to say welcome. Welcome to our guest, the Fatebinder. The armored retainer bows with rushed inelegance, then rises to a salute. And not a moment too soon. I actually don't know if these guys are our lords. It seems like we operate like the Inquisition does in, like, Warhammer 40k. Where essentially we make calls and people just deal with it. Like, we can even, like, summon generals and tell them to, you know, kneel before us and stuff like that if we really, really want to. If we really want to press our luck.
Did I give you permission to speak?
The Archon of War turns to you, his eyes blued and wide with anger. The many portraits you've seen depict Graven Ash with a stern, unamused countenance. He's more taciturn in the flesh. I bow to the Archons. Apologies for the sudden entrance. I've traveled long to be here.
Ah, the fire starter has arrived. Welcome, welcome. Our agents tell us such lovely stories of what you did at the Vellum Citadel. Have you come bearing another fragment of Kairos' wrath in tow?
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Eddring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
He glares at the voices of Nerat, furrowing his brow as he utters the word camaraderie. I come bearing the edict of Kairos.
It seemed only yesterday you were proving your worth in battle, assisting my warriors in the siege of the bastard city. Now Kairos has chosen you for a second time to proclaim an edict. Tell us, good Fatebinder, what sort of punishment does the Overlord have in store for the Oathbreakers?
The Overlord's loyal servants must hold Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords, or all within the valley shall perish. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment, its every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed, the tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Mitanni. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to backup Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? A baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
Let's see. I can punk the Archon of Secrets using subterfuge. That doesn't seem like a good idea, though. What I've learned from playing Dark Heresy is you've got to pick your words carefully when dealing with powerful people. Like, yes, you may have the authority to just dunk on them, but they tend to remember that kind of shit. Bicker all you wish, but you're wasting valuable time.
The Fatebinder is right. We're acting not as leaders, but as children. I've no time for your foolish japes and petty taunts. We should focus on the objective at hand, and that is taking the Mitanni River, and then advancing to Ascension Hall and ending this edict.
Then enough talking. There's work to be done. My lord, Barrack and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. Man, they drilled an entire band? That must have been... You gotta have stamina. You gotta make sure you eat your Wheaties in the morning if you gotta drill a whole band. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. I shall ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavor can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunan's Chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
The Archon twirls his scepter. You hear voices in your head. Suit yourself, Fatebinder, the more you ignore us. Oh, I forgot to click on it the last time. Balls.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end.
Shouldn't I send out my bodyguard who works directly for him before we have this conversation? It just seems imprudent to me. I'm already scheming. Like, I'm getting into character, and I'm starting to realize that, like, when you scheme and stuff like that, Dark Heresy has taught me a lot of things about being a schemer and about making sure you don't get caught.
It threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us. I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, well, short of a few everything, but I'm sure my brethren will be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. It would be my honor. The Iron Marshal salutes Graven Ash, then turns from the tent. I will be at the training grounds readying the soldiers. Find me there when you are ready. She pauses, clearing her throat, and though I am loath to mention it, the chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the outer valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a Camp Due East. Seek him out if you must. The Archon of War lets out a long sigh as he surveys the maps and models splayed about the desk. He glances over his shoulder, making eye contact with you briefly, furrows his brow, and then turns back to his contemplation. The first time you proclaimed an edict, you gave the enemy a suspicious amount of time to ready themselves. I chalk it up to excessive mercy for a backwards people, but when the edict is against your kin, that order you follow to the letter. Be gone from my tent. I tire of these distractions. I don't know if you can actually order me out of your tent. It sounds like I'm kind of a badass. Like, it sort of seems like to me that, like, I do whatever the shit I want, and you just kind of get out of the way. Oh, cool. He's got treasures, and now they're my treasures. So we've got to go out and we've got to handle two separate engagements. We've got to help the Fate Binders with something, and then, we've got to help the Chorus with something, and then we've also got to help... Now that you have delivered the edict, the time remaining till Cairo's Day of Swords appears in the current date on the navigation bar. In terms of the edict must be met by this date or everyone in Vendrian's well will die. Okay, well let's make sure we're pausing the game then before we do any of this stuff. So Iron Marshal's over there, Sevius is over there. Alright, well, let's deal with the disfavored first. See what we can get handled here. Don't just coddle the impact, push back with your shield, take the momentum! Iron Marshal Arrhenius, field commander of the disfavored, pounds her fist in the air. She calls out to the warriors on the training field. I said eyes on your opponent's waistline. If you spend more than a glance checking his footwork, you've lost. The disfavored officer turns to you, adjusting her pale golden surcoat as she clears her throat. Need to stay on top of the troops so their skills will rust. It's good for their own, it's for their own good, even if they don't believe it. What does this say? Judging from your uniform, she is Iron Marshal Arrhenius, first among equals in the Iron Guard. Graven Ash is in her circle of trusted followers. She's charged with being the charged with the duties of leadership, logistics, and training. Okay. It was mentioned you're short on warriors and need help. What is the situation? I have brigades amassing along Placid, Echo-Call, and Little Tooth crossings. The Vendrian Guard may be able to hold one bridge, but they cannot hold against a concerted three-pronged attack. I have no right to give you orders, but... Her words falter, a short cough breaking her flow, but we all die to Cairo's edict should we fail, so I'm not about to let my pride blind me to the value of good help. Alright. Well, you attacked before. What happened last time? Defeat in detail. We carved a bloody path up the river, but at that point, everyone who charged ahead was lost. We had no chorus backup. It was just a few disfavored squads. I can't tell you exactly how they were defeated, but we lost the whole assault team. She shakes her head, letting out a long pained sigh. We found the bodies washing up on the river for days. It's not often the Tearsmen put up such a good fight. Certainly made us reevaluate the number we'll need to take the valley. Really? Are you sure our scouts didn't give you all sorts of details about the enemy and you just chose to disregard our warning? We can pass out blame after the war. Only the Oathbreakers matter now. Quite right. Getting our emotions into the mix won't hasten this campaign. Okay, then I will assist you. Then our plan might just work. The Iron Marshal lifts her gauntlet close to her face, shifting her eyes to you, to the metal articulations. We are loath to work with those who do not share our training and our values, but we know that Tunon the Adjudicator selects only the most capable minds for his court, and I trust you will honor us all on the field. Anio will be leading the charge at Echo-Call Crossing. Assisting you will be the Barrack of Stone Field, or will be Barrack of the Stone Fields. She points to a heavily armored soldier standing sentry at the edge of the training field. Before you ask... No, the Forge-bound weren't sloshed on Dappleseed when they fitted on his armor. He survived the full force of the Edict of Storms, and his armor didn't exactly come off. Tactically, it's quite brilliant, but otherwise, it's something of a curse. Tapping her helmet twice, Arrhenius signals the hulking presence. Barrack, come meet the Fatebinder. The soldier steps up to you, resembles an amalgamation of rusted blades and mismatched pieces of armor fused into a vaguely human shape. He reeks of sweat, feces, and whatever oil treatment keeps him flexible.
Fatebinder. The Iron Marshal has tasked me with keeping you alive, and I have no intention of disappointing her. That should be enough assurance for anyone.
An honor.
Likewise, good binder.
The soldier heaves a heavy arm into a salute, his whole body clanging as he wraps the gauntlet against the twisted sheets of metal that form his breastplate. So he's trapped inside his armor. So he just like shits himself over and over and over again. Ew.
Beric, is that you under there? I had no idea you were in Vendrian's well. Fatebinder, do you know this walking anchor?
I don't believe we've been acquainted.
It's challenging enough to experience battle from a courtroom, much less remember the faces of your cohorts. I wouldn't expect you to know me under these accursed blades of rust.
He bangs on his malformed chest armor for emphasis. The Fatebinder will be joining us for the push across the river. I figure an extra hand might help. More importantly, if my worries have come true and the chorus tries to impede the mission, we'll have an observer from the court on our side.
Better to work with the honorable binder than some chorus children.
He nods to you, his armor creaking as he bends his neck. I ask that Beric accompany you to arbitrate the cooperation between his company and the Scarlet Chorus. Beric, you've been without a cohort since the last Battle of Stalwart. It's time we gave you a task more worthy than hauling wagons and leading training drills. She plants her hands on her hips and speaks in clipped official terms. Ash has assigned you to the Fatebinder service. You're to assume this task is ongoing until we find a more permanent spot for you, which could very well mean the swiftly approaching end of the war, or when the Fatebinder dismisses you. Understood? Oppressive silence comes from Beric. That's an order, Beric. She shakes her head and sighs, returning her focus to you. He'll be as stubborn as pulling a spire out of the earth, but he's a good soldier. I hope you don't mind the company. Honored to have a member of the Iron Legion at my side. Excellent. I look forward to your success in the field. So what is our goal here? He's level 2, so he needs to be leveled up. Attribute points. So he's got Resolve. Okay. Resolve is actually one of his best stats. What kind of equipment is he rocking? He's got a sword and board. Alright. Those are locked onto him, so he can't get those off. Hopefully there's some way that we can level those as time goes along, but for now, that's fine. A little bit extra to strength. Make him stronger. Active effects. The Edict of Exhaustion. The Overlord has decreed that all in the Valley of Kairos Day of Swords shall die unless Kairos representative upholds it. Okay, so essentially everybody knows that they're bound for death, so they're getting a bonus to their resolve, knowing that they're going to die anyways, essentially.
Graven Ash protects.
Alright, gentlemen. Let's be on our way. Let's have a look at our journal here and figure out what's going on. So, we have the Forge-bound Iron, which is outside of Vendrian's well. We've got taking the Outer Valley. We've got the Battle of Echo Call Crossing. So, meet with Anio at Echo Call Crossing, and then taking the Outer Valley would be with the Scarlet Chorus. So we got to go to the Scarlet Chorus camp to talk with Fifth Eye. We have 8 days until the Day of Swords. A week to wrap this thing up. Well, it's on the way, so we might as well. I mean, we've got to go there anyways, so it's going to be 2 hours to complete our journey here. Your path is blocked by a small group of Vendrian guard. You can go no further until you deal with them. Alright, well, let's get with the stabbity stab then. Let's get with the good old-fashioned murder on behalf of the Empire.
That's far enough, Fatebinder.
A woman's voice booms from atop a nearby outcropping. Flashes of aquamarine body paint peek out from under her loose-fitting traveler's garb, and her outfit is festooned in braids and knots of sailor's line. So, the pigment-bladed staff and complex braided attire are the traditional trappings of the School of Tides. Fatebinder Rogulis, the majority of the school fled before the coming of Kairos. The remainder were seen during the first campaign in Vendrian's well. Okay. Flanked on either side by warriors dressed in the Vendrian Guard regalia, the woman leans in an elaborate bladed staff pulsing with arcane energy. A swath of blue fabric rests drapes over her arms. Blue flag is a symbol of diplomacy and truce. Okay, so the Tearsmen hold that custom dear. To harm someone under the auspices of the blue flag is a grave offense in both the Tears and Kairos Empire. The summary punishment is death.
I owe you an apology, Peacebinder, for we have dishonored the surrender that you offered us in our year of defeat. I cannot excuse or defend our action. I leave that to history. But all the same, I am deeply indebted to you for treating my Tearsmen with charity and humanity, even in this time of madness. In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal.
She bows. although the warriors alongside her are still ready for battle. In accordance with the ancient customs north and south, I abide by this truce.
As is our custom, we are ready to kill to defend our lands, but we kill only in fair battle. We don't slay our prisoners. We know this isn't Kairos' way, but we must have hope. A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
I ordered him executed. Tarkus Deimos is dead.
I see. That is as I feared, but thank you for telling me all the same. I prefer closure to wishful thinking. If I may make one more inquiry, what of Palox Tyrell? Did he survive?
Though you have rarely have the luxury of matching names to the countless tearsmen you've encountered, you're reasonably certain she's asking about the Vendrian Guard warrior that took Drastus hostage at the Edgering Ruins. He did not survive the encounter. Palox Tyrell is also dead. She nods slowly, saying nothing for a moment.
My apologies, Fatebinder. I had a terrible feeling this errand was in vain from the start. I had no expectations that our friends could be saved, as I'm sure the time for swapping prisoners is long gone. But at least I know of what became of them. That'll have to be enough.
I'm sorry you did not find what you were seeking. I'm gonna make, basically that's what when I'm playing this guy roleplay style, he's going to be essentially Judge Dredd, duty-bound, not vicious and cruel, but always attempting to be even-handed, essentially. Not necessarily being a good guy. Like, I'll give out the harsh judgments too, like executing the other guy, because he had his chance to surrender and he didn't do it. Obviously, I've got to have my character adhere to the culture of Kairos that I'm a part of, but at the same time, I want him to kind of be like a true neutral type character.
Then all that remains is for me to thank you for hearing me out. In accordance with our ancient customs north and south, let us part with peaceful accord.
She bows curtly, never letting her eyes leave yours before turning to leave. A moment later, the bodyguards turn to follow. I'm assuming that was the game letting us know that all of our actions have consequences, even like the little actions like executing a random guy on our way through, you know? Couple of mushrooms down in there. Free sword right there. You want free sword? Who doesn't love free swords? Everybody loves free swords. So is time running right now, or does time only run when we're on the map or when we're resting? That's what I'm curious about. The guard places her hands by her belt as you approach, gripping the hilt of the blade. Past this point is the chorus territory, and you don't look like somebody's conscript. You sure you're in the right place? I am Leomon, Fatebinder of Tunan, here to help vanquish the Oathbreakers. You know, I think I was told by somebody, but you seem too ugly to be him. Her lips crumple into a smirk. Why exactly should I let you in? And more importantly, what's this hulking ton of iron doing here? The guard gestures at Barrick with a sneer. Athletics 32. Let's push her down. Before she can draw her blade, you advance. Place your foot behind hers and give her a stiff shove on the shoulder. Cough off balance, she tumbles backwards, triggering an outburst of laughter in the other guard. I can't believe you sassed the Fatebinder. You're such a stupid ponce. Didn't I tell you we had a special guest coming? The guard waves you in with a smile. Come on in and don't let the ninny shitters in camp give you any guff. I like that, ninny shitters. Shit ninnies. I like that better, though. Shit ninnies. Alright, so what do we have going on here? I can read a scroll if I had 32 lore, but apparently I'm too stupid to read, so we're just not going to do that right now. Thus is the downside to playing a warrior character. They're always too dumb to accomplish anything. I didn't give him his skills, did I? So we can make him a sentinel, or we can make him a punisher. I think that would be important because we got to decide if I'm going to tank or if he's going to tank. I say let him tank. We'll make him a sentinel. So mocking invitations, challenging enemies to attack Barrick. So there it is. We also found bronze bracers, which I will equip in just a little bit before we go into combat, but for now I'd leave it alone. I don't want to spend too much time on menus while you and I are conspiring together to play this game. We have potions, elemental barriers, and whetstones. We also have access to a stash that's hidden inside of here. Looks like Rot Spear, Enraged Affliction for 120 seconds, but you also get Might. Okay. Salveros. Hail, Fatebinder of Tunan, the disfavored officer pounds a heavy gauntlet against his chest in a stiff but warm greeting. Were I a betting or superstitious man, I'd say fortune must favor me today. I am not. But I am pleased to meet you all the same. What brings you to my little slice of personal damnation, otherwise known as... He spreads his thickly gloved hands wide. This here mud and shit-stinking chorus swamp. Why were you stationed with the chorus? From the way most of my days go, you'd think I was here to row with blood chanters and scarlet furies, but my post is represent the disfavored interest before Fifth Eye, and the scarlet chorus before Iron Marshal Renius. Not that I've gotten to do either so much as in the last span. Have they been cooperative? No one tells me anything. They all lack honor and discipline. Don't think they could cooperate even if it's what they actually wanted. Guess I shouldn't be surprised considering they serve the Archon of Secrets. Keen observation. I'm glad to see we see eye to eye, sir. It's nice speaking with someone who doesn't try to frustrate the piss out of you every 4 words. It's like they don't even care. I'm the closest thing to a friend in the disfavored they've got. Do you have anything to report? He cants his head to one side, taken aback. What about the chorus isn't unusual. The army itself is a strange malnourished beast, but no. The screamers seem mostly in order, sir, and I haven't been spying if that's what you're implying. Of course, even if I was, it'd be damn near impossible to learn anything from this shit sty. Fifth Eye and those damn Furies don't loop me in enough for me to any detail, and it's not for lack of trying on my part. Alright, well, what do you mean? I'm not just here to keep a steady eye on the Oathbreakers. They give far too much freedom for conscripting. I'm here to be a resource for the benefit of both armies. I can provide insight regarding proper stratagem and request a stock of troops from Iron Marshal Arrhenius for reinforcements if needed, but they don't listen to me, nor confide in me, nor fight beside the brethren I would request. Alright, well, you act like it's a punishment to be assigned here. Isn't it? I know I fucked up to get here. Got 3 days in the hole and a nice little promotion to go with the new post. Well, I won't be making the same mistake twice when it comes to the Iron Marshal. He juts his chin towards the valley. Should be out there fighting for Ash's glory, not standing here ready to run back to report that should something ever finally fucking happen. Well, farewell. Suppose that'll have to do for now, because we are out of time. See y'all next time. This is Tyranny. Get the game for yourself down below, everybody. If you've had the opportunity, check out the Patreon that I got set up for all of you. There's tons of fun stuff, new videos and things that you get for being a patron over there. You can also get onto my Discord where I talk with people pretty frequently. So yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.